Hi everyone, and you are welcome to this lecture, Comments in Python. In this lecture, I'm going to define what a comment is. We will see together why comments are important. We will see the available comments types, and I will end up this lecture by a quick summary. So let's get started. First of all, I will define what a comment is. Comment is explanation or annotation written in English language in the source code of a computer program. Usually comments work as hints to highlight what the source code does in the place in which they are written. And keep in mind that comments are totally ignored by compilers and interpreters. In other words, when you run your program, they will not change the normal behavior of your program. Now let's see together why comments are important. Usually, when I want to talk about comments' importance, I like to share this meme, which said, when I wrote that code, only God and I knew what it did. Now, only God knows. And now here means it could be 1 year after the first time you wrote this code. From this meme, we can understand that if you come back to your code after 1 year, for example, it's very hard to memorize what you have done. And here comments come to the scene to remind you what your code does. Also, comments are useful when you want to share your program with other people. So it's going to be easier for them to read your code and understand what do you mean by each part of your code. Now let's talk about the available comments types in Python. Mainly, we have two types of comments. We have single line comments. I mean we can write this comment only in one line. We use a hash sign to write this type of comment. And usually, we add these comments within quotes lines. We have also multi-line comments, and usually we use triple quotes to write these comments, and most often we write these comments at the beginning of functions, modules, classes. Now let's move to PyCharm to see how we can write each type of these comments. First of all, I'm going to define two variables. The first one, name equal to Huda, for example, age equal to 25. Now I'm going to print the name and the age. Run. As you can see here, name is Huda, age is 25. Now let me add a comment to this program. These variables refer to the student details. Run. As you can see, I have the same result exactly without any change. And we can understand from this that this line, which starts by a hash sign, is totally ignored by the interpreter. And they work as a comment only, so they don't have any job in your program. Now, if I press enter here and try to type anything, directly I will get this curly red line to highlight that there is a mistake here. And this happened because I'm trying to write multi-line comment while I'm using hash sign. But hash sign, it's only for one line of comments. So if you want to write another line, you have to put hash sign again, or you can use triple quote to define multi-line comments like here. So let me remove this, put triple quote, and I will say here comments, for example, line 1. Line 2, line 3. Let me define here a variable, its name course, and I will say Python programming language, and I will print course, run. As you can see here, Python programming language has been printed, and there is nothing happens because I add these comments. And this is expected because, as I mentioned before, comments are totally ignored by the interpreter. Also, you can see here that I am able to write more than one line of comments without any problem because I use a triple quote. Now let's summarize what we have learned in this lecture. Comments are description of what source code does. They are very important to memorize later on what it has been implemented. In Python, we have two types of comments, single line comment, and we use hash sign to define these comments. Or we have multi-line comment. We use triple quote to define this type of comment. Please refer to the available file, Comments in Python Challenges, in which you will find some challenges to practice what you have learned in this lecture. Thank you very much for your time, and if you are available, join me in the next lecture.